The Ramchal writes, as we mentioned, a person is 70 years. If he makes the right choices, the value, the result of that is eternity. As a human being, as a physical being, as much as we nourish our bodies, after a certain period of time, the body has to be replenished. If it's not replenished, the body begins withering and ultimately will shut down. But yet, the soul, if it's infused properly through the commandments, through the spiritual nourishment, whether it's the study of the Torah, the fulfillment of the positive commandments, it provides sufficient spiritual sustenance that the soul is able to be sustained forever. Tremendous, tremendous kindness of God. For a pittance, the return is infinite. It's like investing something which is less than value, and the return is forever. What we call mega returns. There's a word from the Chafetz Chaim where he cites a verse that God's reward to the human being is kindness. He asks, why is it kindness? The Talmud refers to the human being as we are employees. We're daily employees. An employee has an obligation to the employer, and therefore we can't utilize our time as we choose, because the time is the employer's time. We're being paid by the employer. But if one produces and meets the employment contract, the employer owes him his wage. So if you owe the wage, and that's the only way you're deserving of reward, because you performed and as you made the right choices, why is payment considered kindness? It should really be payment of what's rightfully due to the person. The Chafetz Chaim explains the word an allegory. There was this young man who apprenticed to a diamond cutter, one of the best. And there was an agreement that he would train him in cutting diamonds for 5 years. He would provide room, board, clothing. All his needs will be attended to. He will use his equipment. He will cut his rough stones for 5 years. The master will apprentice the student. But after 5 years, the agreement is that the student, once he becomes the expert diamond cutter, he must cut the diamonds for a 50th of what the wage is normally for cutting such diamonds. And he agreed to it. Over time, the apprenticeship was finished, and now the student is that expert diamond cutter, and he begins cutting diamonds for his employer, for his master, for a fraction of the market price of such a service. And the master became very successful, and he had to conscript other professional diamond cutters to cut his diamonds. And he was paying them multiples of what he's paying his student, the apprentice. And the apprentice over time started to get slightly upset. His work was far superior to anything that anybody else could do. And yet, he's receiving as a wage a pittance of what everybody else is receiving. And he could not contain himself any longer. and he goes to the master, to his employer, and he says, I don't think it's fair. These other people, you're paying multiples of what I'm being paid, and the work cannot be compared to my work, my expertise, and therefore I really don't think it's equitable the way you're treating me. So the master is taken aback, and he says, I just don't understand what you're saying. These other people, I never trained them. I never provided food, clothing, accommodations. They never used my equipment. They used their own equipment. They practiced on their own rough. All they're giving me is their service. I never invested in them to any degree. Therefore, I feel I must pay them what I pay them. In terms of yourself, every aspect of your ability, the training period, the equipment, the diamonds, the room, the board, the sustenance, I provided all that you have. Therefore, I think it's very fair in terms of what I'm paying you. So the Chofetz Chaim writes that we exist as human beings, that we have a body, we have a function, we have an intellect, we have a level of health and ability. This is all God endowed. This is God's endowment. We don't contribute to that whatsoever. Our only contribution to our life is our choice. But outside of our choice, the Master provides everything. Therefore, relative to what we're receiving, God gives us eternity. What did we invest? A pittance. We only made the choice. But anything outside of the choice is God-given. It's like the master, multiples of the master, apprenticing the apprentice to be the expert diamond cutter. Therefore, rewarding a person for his lifetime's accomplishment is truly kindness. It's not payment of something which God owes you, although God says, I will pay you as if I owe you, but in its essence, it's true, unlimited kindness.